out. You Live to Party, Replica, 12 CM, and blanking on the fourth one. Who would the fourth one have been? Rape Team. That's right. Those great teams right there. No, well, those 4 teams were knocked out. They're going to be going gold next cycle. But obviously 12 teams still remaining. We'll see, again, how it progresses on. But once again, joined by Riser here. Stepping into game number 2. The banning stage, Ophelia, Engineer, Fade, Scout. No Mage Bane ban. Feeling confident still.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily. I like the Fade man. I feel like it's because they lost middle lane so hard. I mean, of course, Mage Bane with Freeform is basically going to do what he did. It wasn't just Mage Bane being OP or anything. It was just how the rest of the laning phase went, I think. So I like Creams here, picking up that Pebbles, guaranteeing to have a fairly strong middle lane already with Pebbles. He's considered probably one of the best melee stunners in the business. And you're in the game, right? Or you've already changed? Okay, so
Yeah, sorry.
not just talking about
No, we are good.
wacky stuff that no one can see. Anyway, Deadwood Andromeda being picked up by, I almost said Absolute Legends because I looked at AL from those two right there, but by Coin.
Same.
So Andro probably the counter to the Tempest that was picked by IG. And of course we saw that Snap pick, Lodestone even, and a Glacius as well by IG. So banning phase is over, Breaky, and here we go for the picks.
Here we are, into the next tier of picks. Yeah, the Deadwood Pebbles over here on top of Andromeda, screaming aggressive play. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like an Amphora coming out here even from our Legion side to just really make the staple point that they are going to be looking to be aggressive here, especially at those 6-7 marks and with the earlier on portal keys. But we'll see how they pick up. But IG so far, a very sound lineup themselves. The Lodestone, Tempest, Glacius. They're going to be going back to the jungle lane here. Insania most likely, of course, going to be playing that Tempest. And already come together pretty nicely. Still valuing the Glacius. Seems like Glacius has kind of died off. If anything, we may be seeing when there's a Parasite or an Ophelia picked. But that's not the case here. There is Parasite option still, with that said. He actually made it through the second tier of ban, so maybe. But what are your thoughts on that? You know, Glacius kind of being a support that's died off a little bit here.
I personally think Glacius is pretty average compared to other supports. I really like him if he's kind of a niche pick against certain heroes, like you said, Ophelia, Parasite, and Rally especially.
Yeah.
With that freeze ability. Of course, you can freeze, Rally or his teammate to stop the compel. So that's I kind of feel like he falls into that category. But this game looks like IG feels like Glacius. I mean, if you think about it, they've got Tempest, Lodestone, and Glacius. The ultimates combined is pretty fierce. And of course, they could have picked something like a Torturer for the mass AoE coming out there, but Glacius fits that pretty well. The AoE kind of centric lineup as well. And I think he's a little stronger than Torture, at least in the initial laning phase. So
yeah,
that's kind of my thoughts on to Glacius. So yeah, I was going to kind of talk about the Legion's lineup. I would have liked to see Pyromancer or a Luna. Luna with the global gank presence with like Deadwood and Pebbles is very powerful. And then of course Pyromancer, I've talked about many times, fantastic support hero in the middle lane.
Yeah. Monkey King going to be the response. And there's Moon Queen to finish things off. So it's a Legion's turn this time around. They're going to try themselves with that hard carry. Need time to farm, but also at the same time you build a pretty aggressive lineup around him. Now, with that said, how are they going to lane it is definitely the interesting part too. As Wild Soul's the final pick on top of that. Very strong lineup over here from IG that they were able to put together themselves. And actually curious also how they're ultimately maybe going to lane it. Obviously, Lodestone and Wild Soul both suicide options. One of them probably going to be a short lane in the end, or maybe even a mid lane here. We'll see. But
well, I think the Legion has a couple of options. They could go for an aggressive tri-lane with like something like a Pebbles, Andro, Pyro, and then of course Deadwood and Moon Queen solo. We have seen the Deadwood suicide occasionally. That's kind of my first thought coming out. So we could see something like that. It could kind of work here because I feel like it's going to be a Wild Soul short lane. Because Zibby's playing it, and Zergo is usually their suicide player. He did play Lodestone last game, so that the Deadwood suicide could actually be pretty viable here just against a Wild Soul. And then of course they could do a 2-2-1. Wait, that was what I was talking about. The 2-2-1,
yeah,
or the aggressive tri-lane. I think those are their best options. Then of course for the Hellborn, probably gonna be a Tempest jungle, maybe Glacius Monkey mid, and maybe like a long lane. I mean, you can kind of interchange the Wild Soul and the Lodestone. I'm kind of more of a fan of the Wild Soul short lane to secure his farm. Seems more important than a Lodestone having farm to me. So you know,
Yeah.
a lot of options here for both teams.
Well, at the same time, though, I mean, Wild Soul, he is a little more open to doing Ancients earlier on, and if he goes to that Suicide lane, you know, that could be a possibility too. But obviously, yeah, you prioritizing farm on Wild Soul if you have that option. Seems like that might be the better choice. But with that said, if they do run an aggressive trial lane, maybe that's not even the case. If he would be better off in that Suicide. So a lot of decisions to be made here, really, by both teams with that said. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how that ultimately shapes up here. But you know, and I must say though, even despite that nerf to Tempest, no doubt hit him hard with that level 1 denies. He's still being seen though as a go-to hero on the competitive scene, and just another example of that right here. Insania picking him up. So obviously the ultimate's still a major threat in the end, as well as just his jungling capability in general, I think is safe to say. But yeah, going the Moon Queen here. That's the hard carry of choice once again. They fought against the Mage Main last game. Didn't come out on top. This time, like I said, they want to try it for themselves here with that Moon Queen. No,
yeah, we have been seeing kind of the, I think in the HoN Tour qualifiers we saw a lot of Moon Queen. It seems like maybe these kind of mid-tier teams are kind of a fan of her. I mean, she is, quite frankly, one of the easiest heroes to play in the game. You hit R, auto-attack, and Q people. And when to farm, you just auto-attack and kill stuff. So, I'm not saying they're lower skilled by any means. These are actually players that I've played in TMM and actually have a lot of respect for. A lot of my fellow competitive players probably don't agree, but yeah, it looks like they're heading up to this top lane. Now, whether this will be just a ward or go aggressive is kind of yet to be seen. It is kind of looking like it is going to be the aggressive tri-lane, so I think that's pretty good. IG's lane's not exactly materializing yet. I think Lodestone, if he was to go short lane, would be the best for them against this tri-lane. I mean, they have a ton of burst damage in this top lane. They could probably still kill him, but Wild Soul probably, unless he has some really clever creep pulling mechanic, which is kind of awkward for up there in that lane, which I'm not too familiar with. It's going to be hard for him to get any farm, and then he can't really retreat to the jungle because Tempest will most likely be in there. But IG, maybe anticipating the aggressive tri-lane, might choose to send Insania into the Legion jungle. And he's kind of hanging out down here, so that leads me to believe he's probably going to be down here.
It looks like it. I mean, he's just kind of sitting at the pole camp right now. I don't know if there's intentions to just sit here to block it eventually. That'd be kind of weird too. But yeah, he's going to come out and more so for hiding purposes. So as you said, IG kind of figuring they were going to be running an aggressive tri lane, and of course, if Tempest did go to zone jungle, he'd be very vulnerable to those ganks being set up on him as far as the roaming Andromeda Pyromancer. Andromeda especially stressed that last game, having to be picked up here again by the other team with that said, so that's kind of funny too to note, but a great roaming support hero in the end. So Tempest making the solid choice here, you can say, and obviously with this as well, it also gives him a little bit better of a path to set up ganks in the middle lane on top of it, so Deadwood will need to worry about that as the game picks up. And on top of it all, you see two camps being blocked by Ward of Sights here by the Legion side in the Hellborn jungle, so even more the reason why Tempest made the appropriate choice here in terms of going to the aggressive jungle. So well played in there by Cream's immediately adjusting to the middle lane. Obviously there's no point for him to sit here up top here, as Pebbles himself even can match up against that low stone, but Pyromancer are also going to be rotating actually, so I don't know, do you think it is the best choice to leave Pebbles by himself at the top lane in the end?
He should be okay. I mean, there's not a whole lot to threaten him at this stage, and yeah, these are two fantastic roaming supports, like you said, perhaps two of the best in the game, so if they can set up kill somewhere, it's going to be good. And yeah, I like them just kind of trying to kick Tempest out, maybe force him back to his own jungle, which is, you know, not terribly warded, but certainly it's going to slow him down just a little. But right now they're kind of just hanging out in the middle lane, not getting a whole lot done. Andro is probably not your ideal support hero to actually lane in the middle lane.
Yeah.
But Pyro, okay, he just came to clear, give himself some extra vision from that Ward of Sight. But yeah, I think IG just kind of recognize the Legion's draft and is kind of taking advantage of it right now. It seems like every lane is going to do quite well for them, including this Tempest, who's jungling pretty well. So definitely a fantastic strategy coming out from what I assume is Insania. He is the captain, but Cinder is kind of a brainiac, so.
Yeah. Cinder does a lot of research, from my understanding.
He's a huge nerd.
Huge nerd.
Yeah. Look at this guy. Just running around with one
Watches HoN all day. What a freaking nerd.
Yeah, look at this idiot. But they will, looks like, be roaming down this bottom lane with a DD and a root breaky.
That's brutal. Moon Queen gonna try to go for a turnaround, maybe, but oh, Woody flies in trouble. Another root! Adding insult to injury, and yes, it was a bloodlust. Sender actually getting credit for the kill. He just comes in and is like, guys, I got this, don't worry, Tundra Blast. That was a little unnecessary in the end, perhaps, but hey, they got the kill. Yeah, that's brutal. That's Entangle, though. That's how it works, and that's part of a reason why you pick up Wild Soul in the end. So, Moon Queen not off to the friendliest of starts here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think IG is just outclassing the Legion team a little bit here. Just their strategy and their lanes all working out perfectly. Could not have asked for much more. And I mean, yeah, with Wild Soul level 3 and then the assistance of Glacius. Hell, they didn't even need Glacius to set up those ganks with those really lucky root procs to kill this Moon Queen. So, yeah, I feel like it's going to be up to these supports even on the Legion team to make something happen. But, you know, there's some really good ward of sight from Cinder. If you take a look at where they are, like basically protecting them from these supports rotating to the mid, and then of course you'll see them rotating towards bottom even, so Insania will also have a heads up about if he needs to play much more carefully. So I feel like the Hellborn was really prepared for this aggressive tri-lane, and they're taking advantage of it right now.
Yeah, they did. Xibby's in a fight with his brother. Haven't we had this before? I could have sworn there was a match where we had a pause about some guy getting in a fight.
The picture of Zibby on Ghost Gamers looked like he was going to stab someone. He's really scary looking. It's pretty nice in real life, though.
Wow.
That's what I said when I first met him. I was like, hey, the guy who's probably going to kill me.
No, don't hurt me, please.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a nice guy in the end. But yeah, I don't know if it was Zibby or not, but I could have sworn we had a pause fairly recently of, like, hold on, somebody's fighting his brother.
Seems to be a common thing.
Yeah, jeez.
He's battle-hardened from so many fights with his brothers that his, you know...
Got the scars from
it. Was like the scowl on his face. It looked like he wanted to poke me with something. So.
But he was nice in the end, so that's what matters.
Yeah, he was smiling. I mean, whether that was like a I'm about to murder your family smile or just a hey, nice to meet you is still up for debate.
Oh, Riser. Oh, Riser. Alright, it looks like we're ready here to resume into game number 2.
Zibby's brother might be dead right now.
We'll have to get confirmation on that later. Well, it's confirmed. It's already on the forums, guys.
Cannot confirm or deny.
Alright. Wild Soul, though, of course, he's feeling pretty good after what happened right there. Not only competing decent in creep farm, actually getting another pull right here with that said, and continue to make life difficult on Woody Fly, so... Yeah, I think the Legion team, it's safe to say, may be regretting somewhat as far as how they set up the lanes initially. But again, that's just more so to IG calling it. It wasn't obvious by any means. It was definitely a couple of routes they could have gone as we're talking about. But they pretty much called it from the very beginning. And as a result, we're seeing the early laning phase easily in favor of Internet Gangsters. Now, there's still a lot of game ahead of us with that said. So, and especially with what is a very aggressive team surrounding this Moon Queen. You always have to keep weary of that. As far as Rome goes, look at Tempest right here, kind of toying with them. Out comes a movie as well as a Comet Stun. Actually, Insania finding himself in an awkward spot, but Moon Queen also taking a lot of return damage from the minions. Needs to be careful. And in the end, he will fall back, but Insania able to hold his own right there. And eventually survive in the end. Obviously, Andromeda only level 1. So unfortunately, couldn't do the most in assistance right there. As far as the kill goes. But Insania is going to fall back. May end up going back to his own jungle in this case.
Yeah, it's usually the queue when the support hero has rotated. He should be fine in his own jungle at this point. The wards will be running out in about 2 minutes, so he's just going to go back in regen and then probably continue his progression to that level 6 in his own jungle. He's got a hard camp and a small camp to work with. That's usually more these days than what you would expect, so should be just fine in there. And then if we just take a look at the stats, even in the creep farm, Hellborn team is just dominating right now. Yeah. But, oh, Lodestone in the top lane, yeah. That's why you put Lodestone against the aggressive tri-lane.
Yep, that rocket drill, similar to an ability like Compel, of course, easy to help him get away in situations like that. Deadwood in the meantime in the middle lane, taking some aggression, but Monkey King and Glacius not able to get a kill right there. And Bloody 9 playing the Deadwood. He is going to survive as those are illusions, so doesn't need to be too worried about that. But Tempest back into his own jungle. Wild Soul being played aggressive on right here. In comes the Comet Stun. The first hit Entangle and Andromeda coming out. It's not going to matter in the end, though. Health Push are going to be canceled immediately. The final auto attack. And that's got to feel good for Woody Fly right there. He's like, finally be able to take you out and get a counter kill after what happened earlier. So Well played, and actually...
Yeah, Woodify, sorry to cut you off, but Woodify is actually farming really well in this bottom lane. He actually is at 315 gold per minute, and after kind of having a rough start, getting roamed on, and he's continuing quite well. So I actually had not really taken this into consideration. He's farming about as well as, hell, Pebbles and Monkey King are.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say pretty much. I mean, you look at the gold per minute, try to actually hold that thought. Deadwood might be in trouble right here once again. One Gym Slam put down the freeze on top, and then another One Gym Slam stun comes out as a result, and they get the kill. Now, the top lane, Zergo, he actually gets a counter kill right here onto Noodle playing that Pyromancer, and he survives in the end. So, all of a sudden, what was at least picking up a little bit for our Legion team. Not so much anymore, but look at Wild Soul in ulti form. He's beating on Moon Queen right here. Wild Soul actually doesn't have his bear currently. I guess did it die? So they killed the bear, it looks like. And he doesn't have the bear for another 20 seconds, actually. So he's going to have to play a little bit careful with that said. Although Moon Queen is really out of mana, so... not necessarily the most dangerous thing. Back to the top lane, though. Low, so in some trouble. Once again, the final on attack to finish him off. Stun there on the Tempest in the meantime. Coming out for Pyromancer, but he's being turned on. Tempest does have an ultimate. Not going to use it right here, though. Pyromancer dropping quickly. Not another stun's going to come out. Health push is going to be used. Here comes Monkey King. Pebbles. Oh, he says, get off me. Pebbles will survive. His teammate does die as a result of Pyromancer, but Pebbles is still alive. Monkey King diving, though, however. The Nimbus Cloud going to be taken off right there. Pebbles, though, he's going to be collapsed on. One more auto attack. He's trying to cut through the trees. It's just not going to happen, though. Well played there by President 23. But not enough in the end. And uh-oh, Deadwood actually, he's still not out of the woods just yet. He's going to be gone back in right there by Monkey King. Nice play by Monkey King, using that Heavily Fall so appropriately right there. And it will result in the kill on him as well. That's so unfortunate for our Legion team, man. I mean, they had several opportunities, great plays to get away, but in the end, it's pretty much an onslaught here for the Hellborn side.
Yeah, the response from the Hellborn team was just too quick. Monkey King and Glacius showing up there very quickly, and yeah, top tower getting pressured quite a bit by Insane. He actually might choose to man up here. Oh, they got two. Here we go, Reiki.
Oh no, Pyromancer's like, what are you doing? He gets tucked in right there to a pretty vulnerable spot. Misses the Phoenix Wave. You love the idea of the poor man's portal key. It's definitely fun to watch, and he definitely can set up for some great plays. Pebbles again using the Chuck very defensively right there. Says, get off me. Monkey King again chasing, though. The One Gym Slam to finish him off. And we're seeing a snowball take place here very, very effectively. Deadwood running back in. Not sure what he's thinking here. And actually, he's going to be frozen. Low stun going on him. Monkey King coming back in. Out of mana, though. Hellborn team might want to think about retreating themselves in the end. Pyromancer ports in. And they are going to ultimately fall back, it looks like. So, yeah, it just continued to get worse and worse, even with the port back. The tower falls in their favor. I mean, all of a sudden, it's a 5,700 gold lead as well as a 5,300 experience lead in favor of Internet Gangsters. So... it's just,
yeah, it certainly is. I mean, well, this game, I kind of wanted to say, like, they have Wild Soul, so when you have Wild Soul, doing this is, you know, like, yeah, you pretty much won the game, but they also have Moon Queen, so
yeah,
perhaps not out of it just yet. Farm about 335 gold per minute, has finished that Whispering Helm, which will help him farm, and if he stacks the top lane, oh, are they going to escape here? The toss is back even, and it resulted in both of their deaths. Simultaneous.
That was fun. Hey, they got the kill to Monkey King, Sender, or in that case, Noodle actually playing the Pyromancer, and you know, it's like, whatever. We got the kill on him, that's what we wanted.
I think Noodle's about the red dot present.
0-4-1 here.
Stop. It's like when, I don't know if you remember, but B-Kid, we had a funny moment on Complexity when someone was yelling at B-Kid to toss something at the tower, because that's how we were retreating, but the tower was really low, and it's like, just toss something at the tower, and he just tosses Haxorin. And Haxorin dies.
Oh, boy.
Tower, but that was pretty, I don't know if you remember that. It was just something.
I
we
can't
always
say I stand out, but...
mess with B-Kid about that. But anyway.
The red dot, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Sometimes you just got it. The red dot has to come
It's
in.
just like, dude, you're just out of control this game. I'm going to go in and red dot you.
Yeah.
Middle lane. Here we go. They're trying to set up a kill. There's a comma stun. Ooh, the wrong grass, though, completely out of position. Oh, and Cream's is like, God, yeah, I'm dead. Good counter kill coming out. That was a little greedy right there for the lead team. Falcon punching on Monkey King. Actually, Pyromancer follow up, but look at the counter kill. But the Tempest ultimate. Perfect split there by Insania. That was pretty much maximum range right there. I mean, right in between the two, just both in range. And he pulls them in to get them both killed. So, Monkey King did fall, obviously, but... middle tower going to be pushed in now. You do go back to Moon Queen is still farming the bottom lane, 330 gold per minute. Actually going to take another Entangle proc right here, but he is more than fine. You mentioned that Whispering Helm, maybe an Energizer. Still sitting on Little Red Boots though, so He still has, by all means, a ways to go. As the Hellborn team, though, they're continuing to pressure. Middle tower falls. And then there's the Wild Soul, as you mentioned, too. You always got to be scared if you have a Wild Soul on the other team, especially when you're down by this much. He has 2,000 gold saved up with boots on his bear currently. So pretty much going to be going straight for the Mach, it looks like here. And I don't even know if that's necessary. You know, Keizu prefers, in some cases, just get the Ghost Marks early on, get some build-up, but in this case, Zibby going to be going for that Mach first. Moon Queen, he's in trouble. Moonbeam right there. He's going to activate the Moon Finale. Yes, he is. This is going to be enough for any kills. The bear goes down, but he respawns it. Going to be fine. So Moon Queen does live in the end, but Monkey King's still hanging around. He wants blood still.
Yeah, no Moon Finale, so it would be a pretty good time to just jump back in. Looks like that was Fuzi's plan, but Moon Queen did TP out, so we'll be fine in the end. But yeah, like Wild Soul at 300 GPM at 10 minutes is just bad news bears. I mean, he can have a Mach in just a few minutes, it seems like, even. But in the middle lane, here we go, Ricky.
Oh, they do find some supports over here. Commissar under Tempest. Do they have enough burst damage? Low Star comes in. The Blazing Striker will finish off Tempest. And now Deadwood on the run. Maybe turn around with the Falcon Punch after that explodes. Turn around with the Falcon Punch. Turn around with the Falcon Punch. There you go. Moonbeam out of the Lodestone. The comes. Oh! The head smash is ridiculous. Especially when you're exposed due to his ultimate. Yeah, it just tears you apart. So he does fall in the end to the Elementals, but at least they take out both of them. However, the bottom tower goes down. So it seems like whenever a decent thing happens here for nice prize pool, Internet Gangsters just capitalizes elsewhere. And that continues to be the trait. So yeah, that Mocker Brilliance is coming up very quickly for Wild Soul. And the obvious that is not going to be good news here. So Moon Queen, especially with the way this game is going, it's always tough to say. But what do you rush? Do you rush a Shrunken Head, or do you still go the Firebrand into Geos?
I don't see her out carrying anyone if she gets the Shrunken Head right now. I think she's going to need, like the Firebrand at least, so she can maximize her farm, or just be a little more efficient at farming in order to actually recover well enough to actually carry. I think the Shrunken Head, even if the Hellborn team's going to push, it's just not going to do quite as much as maybe getting some more farm more quickly would. So yeah, I'm a fan of definitely maybe getting even maybe the whole Geometer's Bane. He needs something, but Monkey King is probably going to kill your Red Bevels. Yeah.
Yep. He's just like, thank you, and I'll walk away. I believe he also got his portal key. I thought I saw a portal key purchase.
He should. He had a lot of gold.
Yeah, it's on the courier still.
Gold,
okay,
so.
There you go. Yeah, it is being delivered to him right now. So even without the portal key, he gets a kill and hasn't shown it just yet. So maybe going to look for that opportunity to get another kill. Of course. However, you do. Even Glacius over here, Center's managed to get Steam Boots, as well as 1,300 really gold saved up. Wow, yeah. Glacius, 275 GPM. Damn, 2-0-8. I guess that kind of explains it there.
I mean, on top of being a Brainiac and just really attractive, Cinder's pretty good.
He is a very solid player, no doubt, and he's been around the scene pretty much forever too, like pretty much from the beginning. So he's just a good staple player. Yeah, very definitely worthy of a shout out. Oh, these entangles, man! It seems like he's entangling so often with his bear. That's just how it works. So he spawns a new one though, and actually might be in trouble. Moon Finale is he going to bounce appropriately? One more. Oh, Tempest comes in, but it's not going to be enough to save him. But they might get the counter kill on Moon Queen. Yes, they will. Glacial Downpour. Speaking of Sender, gets that counter kill. In the meantime, Monkey King being found. He falls to a Falcon Punch Pebbles combination. That'll get the job done. You see Lowzone trying to jump in right here with a Shadow Storm, but a little bit too far away in the end, and it explodes onto nothing. So both sides having some big kills right there. Legion team comes out on top in numbers, but they did lose their Moon Queen, so it is going to slow her down a little bit once again. Still well fought right there in the Moon Finale, just enough to do the job on the Wild Soul.
I think he got a little lucky. There were quite a few heroes to port the bounce to, and then the final one, I believe it was the final one, or it was close anyway, did kill him. So Woody Fly getting a little RNG revenge there. I mean, I guess he's kind of do it, so can't complain too much if you're Zibby, but he probably did. I probably would have too. I don't really blame him.
I always get hit by those moonbeams.
His brother is probably somewhere in a ditch with a fork in his eye, but
why the brother? Oh boy. Quick job, I guess, It was only a pause for like 2 minutes. Stuff done quickly, though, I guess. Portal key away from Tempest.
Family helped him with it.
Dark, man. Pebbles jumping in right here. Tempest going to be found. Astral Life heal. Not enough, though. So Insania getting pretty greedy right here. He did have support nearby, but he was kind of off by himself in no man's land at the same time. So gets caught out, and honestly, I mean, Internet Gangsters had a lead early on, man, but look at it. It's kind of gone away. The experience is almost even now. about 1,000 experience lead still for the Hellborn team, and the gold is still 5,800, but it's dropping, and you still have the Moon Queen, 2,500 gold saved up. I would be a little worried all of a sudden if I'm IG. I mean, you had a huge start, and it ain't so big anymore.
Yeah, I agree. There's actually been some really good fights from the Legion team, just being as down as they are, doing a pretty good job. So, yeah, it looks like they might just take a free tower in the middle lane without Tempest being alive. Hellborn is not interested, especially without the Mach. I feel like maybe at this point they might want to tone it down a little and wait for that Mach to be finished. But maybe not. I mean, if they can find some more pickoffs, it's certainly going to be good for them, especially on Moon Queen, because I feel like Moon Queen is the threat. I mean, Pebble is actually farming 400. He's got about 1,800 gold saved up. Present 23, done a pretty good job. He got the portal key a little late, but he was, for a while, kind of solo in that top lane, and then there was rotation. I believe he didn't fall, so delayed his portal key a little, but he's done work with it, and I like Bloody Knight's decision here to just kind of skip the build-up slide and just go straight for the portal key. He just, with his farm, those build-up items are going to delay the portal key way too much. So, definitely a good decision here from, he might also know him as Worsted HoN.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Worsted HoN.
Gotcha.
We affectionately call him Wah.
Wow, I've actually seen that before. That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Woody Fly here playing the Moon Queen. He's sitting on 3,500 gold. It looks like at this rate, you figure it's probably going to be straight into a Shrunken Head. Which it goes back to, though, especially with the way this game has been picking up, I think that's a little over the top. I don't think it's necessary whatsoever. Andromeda, in the meantime, gets caught in Tempest, almost swamps Pebbles right there, though. Very short range. I'm not even sure if that was even necessary in the end, but wanted to just buy a little bit of space, I guess, to help get away, and he does survive, so good stall there by Pebbles, ultimately. And that was a Tempest ultimate used on a solo Andromeda that didn't even kill him. So you're very happy if you're the Legion team now. With that said, maybe looking to take advantage of that, but
they could. It's a little risky. I mean, I feel like maybe some more aggressive teams would take advantage of it. But speaking of taking advantage, Lodestone in the middle lane. Will he get the Blazing Strike? He will. So nice. Fantastic pickoffs.
Yeah.
From Coin coming out here. So Present 23 definitely doing a great job utilizing that portal key, and Moon Queen with 4,400 gold.
What is he doing, man? I mean, I always go back. It's kind of a pet peeve I know of mine, and a lot. Okay, really?
I guess he just couldn't. I mean, I'm pretty bad at figuring out what items I want to, so perhaps he just stalled for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wanted to figure out how the game was going. I mean, they kind of had like a little opportunity while Wild Souls farming his Mach to do some farming themselves. So, like I said, I still would have liked to see the the farming tools.
Exactly. It's just you. Obviously, your farm's enhanced quite a bit with the Firebrand alone. I mean, it's a great item pickup, especially with the Whispering Helm combination and the glaives of his. He attacks very fast, good damage. You get camp stacked up, you get the Ancients. Just, the idea that maybe, sure, he wanted to still determine how ultimately how the game is going, but I don't know. It's always kind of like cringe a little bit when I see that. It's like, could have had a Firebrand this whole time, and even the Blessed Orb quicker then. But, wanted to be safe, I guess. And in the end, though, he is going to go in the Geometer Span with that said. At least he is still going that. If he went the Shrunken Head, maybe it would have been a little bit more of a... I don't know if that was the best option, but at least he is going the Geometer Span, so that's going to be good for him. The Mock of Brilliance, I assume it's finished on Wild, so yeah, it's being delivered here, it looks like. So he does have the Mock. It looks like about an 18-minute Mock. Nothing too bad about that for Xib, so... Especially in that suicide lane. He did a fantastic job. Deadwood has the portal key now as well, as you were talking about, going straight into the portal key pretty much with very little build-up here. And we'll see how that pays off for him. Pyromancer also pretty close to a Tablet of Command. I mean, this is a Pyromancer, remember, that I think started 0-4-1 this game. He was just getting killed non-stop at the top lane. And all over the place, really. But he's stepped up. He's been, 3-1-1 since then. And almost has a Tablet of Command now with Steam Boots. Good recovery.
Yeah, he's recovered pretty nicely. I mean, I still really like the Hellborn's chances in this game, but it's not necessarily over by any means. I think Legion still has a shot. They just need to execute these team fights well. And, with that portal key on Deadwood, I feel like Tempest is pretty exposed here if he gets caught out of position. I think the combination of, Deadwood Pebbles kills usually lots of things, but I think their target of choice might even be that Tempest this game in team fights. Monkey King as well, he's pretty squishy actually. I mean, he's got the extra armor from the Sacrificial Stone, but of course he still does have just the Ghost Marchers and about 1,000 health. So, if Deadwood and Pebbles can execute their combos accordingly. They've got a pretty good shot in these team fights, and as long as someone can cancel the Tempest ult as well, I mean, it's something my team has kind of struggled with sometimes, but a lot of times it's really important just to have someone and tell them, okay, you cancel the ult. You literally do not do anything else. You have to sit there and wait, and hopefully they have someone kind of designated to that, because things can get out of control quickly if Insania can find a big opening for his elemental void.
Yep, as always. I mean, there's a reason why, again, not only we still see Tempest even after that nerf that he took, and just why he's considered just this top-tier staple hero for so long in the competitive scene. So, I also want to give updates, too, as far as coming out of this pause here and other series in general, what the plan is for today. So, again, obviously we're starting off coverage with this series here from the losers bracket. There are four matches in total, 3 other matches happening. Now, unfortunately, it did sound like 2 of the matches did end up in forfeit wins. I believe VDT got the forfeit win, of course, over Painter, as we talked about, but also Justice League took a forfeit win over Locomotive. So, just apparently having some roster issues today getting in. So, those 2 teams moving on. And then the other match was Team Excellent versus Jungle Ukers. That's being casted over there on Coldcast by Beef. So, Team Excellent won 2-0, just heard. So there you go, where this is the only series now left here in this round. But of course, the next round, we're going to be covering the winner bracket semifinals. We're going to be doing TMSR versus Stay Green. But of course, Riser, you're playing against Lion Esports Club, Team USA.
I'm so glad you're doing that one. I don't want Podcast to witness us getting trounced by Lions.
Oh, come on now. I'm sure you're going to win.
I'm a realist.
That is going to be covered by Coldcast, though. So it will be casted. People will be able to witness you guys owning Lion Esports Club.
Yeah, for sure.
Confidence. Just pick Legionnaire again. You'll be fine.
Oh, God. Hanskin's going to pick Parasite, and I'm screwed.
Just ban it. Call him a tryhard.
All right, we'll just go all in on my Legionnaire. Ban Parasite, ban Counter Wards.
That's possible. Yeah. Guys, you want to go public game? Let's ban stuff. Yeah,
you actually do that in a public game? You can ban wards?
No, you can't. I don't know what I was saying.
Oh.
I could talk to Dog Kaiser, see if he'd be willing to change some rules real quick. Yeah.
Could happen.
Give up 2 hero picks for counter wards, yeah. Anyways. Alright, back to this one though. 20 minutes in here. Look at Deadwood. Has that portal key. Catches Tempest, but Tempest astrolabes right away, and Deadwood by himself. He's also still level 10, so it would have even been a level 2 Falcon Punch. Not worth the risk. Probably wouldn't have been a kill anyways. I mean, Tempest is actually pretty beefy, including with that Blessed Orb pickup. How about that? So going the Blessed Orb route here on top of the portal key, so he's not even going to be going for a Shrunken Head this game. Obviously Andromeda, once again, tends to make life difficult even with that Shrunken Head. So are you a fan of that? I mean, passing up is that going to be a Null Stone?
Yeah, I assume that's what it's going to be, just to kind of cancel the swap. Perhaps he's going to get that and the Shrunken Head, but he wants the Null Stone first because it just kind of like will help him a little more farm and everything. And they've kind of retreated into a more passive stage, so that could be pretty viable option. But of course, Shrunken Head Null Stone is a lot of farm. Of course, Tempest is at 450 GPM, so we could be seeing it not too long, but it's going to take some time to build up. You see Zibby actually and Tanzania trying to steal some jungle, but Moon Queen's actually like, thank you, I'm going to clean this up.
I'll just glaive everything. And
actually, Boyfly 530 GPM. So
I just saw it too,
happens when Moon Queen gets her core item. She can farm pretty quickly, so even though we don't see Moon Queen too much, certainly Hellborn's got to be considering that now. He's actually level 16, so next highest on the Hellborn is 14, which is Tempest, and honestly, Tempest levels aren't the biggest deal in the world. Monkey only 12, Wild's only 12. You know, we do see Wild Soul kind of get underleveled sometimes, but as long as he has his items on his bear, not the biggest deal. Lodestone as well, level 12, so we could be having a match in our hands here, Breaky.
We do. I mean, continuing just for Woody Fly alone, how he's just not only recovered big time, but I shouldn't even say recovered. I mean, he's always having very good farm, but just taken off. And as you said, there's always the Moon Queen effect you have to be worried about. And at this rate, he's probably going to have a Shrunken Head by the next time they fight. So he's going to have his very solid core. Shrunken Head Geo's whispering him with those steam boots, and he's not going to be easy to kill. Those glaives bouncing around, as you said, and I'm not afraid. I mean, he is one of the easiest heroes to play. It seems like you just simply right-click, press R, and occasionally the Q, and then with those glaives, you get the built-up items. It just tears up bases, tears up heroes in fights. So that's again definitely a thing to be concerned about. He is going to go the Assassin Shroud, so a little bit more greedy, you could say.
Really?
Yeah, going the Assassin Shroud here. As Conqueror is being attempted, by the way, by IG. They are aware, though. Andromeda's kind of skying things out. There's an invisible low zone, though. Oh, no. Andromeda, watch out. Okay, it's going to be fine for now, but... Okay,
There's a Warlock, and it's dead.
He took over a Warlock with a Whispering Helm.
I don't know if that was worth it. It could be stacking Ancients with that bad boy.
Yeah.
Instead, it just got Tempested.
Turned into the element.
But at least they were aware of that. They don't have a whole lot of vision, but Moon Queen, speaking of Shroudbreaker, he's going in.
Oh my gosh, he is just charging right here. Moonbeam, there's a jump from Devil coming up. Falcon Punch gonna be used, but miscommunication. Moon Queen was already falling back. She's gonna be gone. A Glacial Downpour coming as well. The Tempest Ultimate Pulse are in and down goes Moon Queen. They do get the kill on the low stone, but they lost to Moon Queen. A big hero of the fight. She is not buying back, of course. Pebble's in some trouble right here. He's trying to walk away. Double tap for Noodle in the meantime coming out. Monkey King and Losun are dead, but Wild Soul chasing Tempest. The Portal King. Oh, the chuck damage coming out right there. Andromeda wants to finish off a Tempest, but he can't get in range. The Aurora to snipe them both. Still not enough for the kill. Can Andromeda cut through? No, Creams cannot. Meanwhile, Wild Soul still chasing. The Bear coming out. The Mockabilly's damage doing work. Trying to maybe get entangled right here. Not going to be enough. Power Man supports out, and Pebbles will be fine. So, I mean, the communication there clearly off for a Legion team. Moonquin was falling back as Deadwood jumped in right there to try to kill Monkey King from the beginning. And that kind of caused some issues. Now, it wasn't as tragic as it could have been, that's for sure, for the Legion team. But still, Moon Queen did die in the end. And that hurts, so.
That was just a weird fight. Crazy initiation, of course. Really deep. And Monkey King, I believe, got his Q off before the Deadwood grass caught him, which I think kind of saved him for a while. Speaking of Deadwood, I think he's going to be going in here. Oh, he's going to toss him out of the grass, but he runs back in. The bear will die. And... gonna be a free kill, so that ward from Creams definitely just paid a lot of dividends.
Yeah.
There, the Hellborn team is kind of around. They have Monkey King with a haste and then Loathsome with the portal key, so they might be looking for a counter kill themselves. But yeah, back to that fight. It seemed like it was gonna be a catastrophe for the Legion team, but oh no, it wasn't like the end of the world by any means. I think it was 2 for 2. Of course, Moon Queen did die, which you never want. Yeah, Insania, by the way, does have the life tube, so definitely looks like a millstone.
But you know, with the way it ended there at the very end, obviously extending onto that fight, but the fact that they also just ganked Wild Soul right there, actually, I think in the end, you know, it's still not it's pretty good in the end for a Legion team, with the way it all played out. So, but we also saw a little bit too of that last fight. It's an aggressive and greedy build here with the Assassin Shroud choice by Woody Fly, and now it definitely can work, and you know, being able to both stealth in and out of fights is pretty effective. But at the same time, we saw how a Shrunken Head could have maybe made a difference there in the last fight, too.
Yeah, he got dropped. I think Cinder had a nice... He kind of portal keyed into the trees so he could get the ultimate off and kind of avoid the damage coming out. So, nice job by him. Portal key actually on Glacius. So, Cinder really farmed, really attractive, really smart.
He has it all going for him, man.
Really good. Sounds familiar, but...
Jealous.
Yeah, I mean, Moon Queen's still level 17. I don't know about this Shroud pickup. I feel like this Drunken Head, if he can get this Drunken Head before the next fight, it will kind of pay off, but pretty greedy.
I think he's going straight Genjiro, honestly. I don't even think he's going to be going for Drunken Head next.
That's crazy. Versus Lodestone and like Glacius.
Yeah.
He's just,
that would be very aggressive.
Not a fan if he does not get a Drunken Head.
He's also been sitting on this Pretender's crown since the beginning of the game, really, which I find funny. Yeah, it's lucky +2 stats.
Yes.
Obviously, the Energizer was probably maybe even thought about, but because of the game, how it developed, maybe just to pass that. I wouldn't. Hell, even still, an Energizer wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but probably not going to be that case here. When it comes down to it, you see us continuing to scout things out. So obviously, Conger is still well alive. In fact, kind of running into that wall right here. Not sure what he's doing. Just working out his. He's busting a move.
What's he doing?
He's busting a move, man. He's got a beat going in here.
Yep.
Anyways, they're going to go back into Congress, so they're going to disrupt his dance party. And he is not happy about that.
Does not appear to be. And the giant ape taking some damage here. Looks like Legion is all pretty close by, except for Pyromancer even. And he's going to grab a mana pot here, but yeah, there's the Aurora. So now they're 100% aware if they weren't already, but Zibby's going to continue to just smack away at it. His bear's taking a lot of damage, though. Of course, he will have another bear if it dies.
Oh, no.
But usually you want to have 2, and oh, Speaking of Shroud, here we go.
Well, they have a rev for it. I mean, you got to be so careful about that, man. They're at the Congo, but you got to expect they have at least one, if not multiple, rev wards. And he kind of just charged in right there with the Assassin Shroud. And he was seen, but at that point they were out of position to jump in. But still, if you're Woody Fly here, don't be so reckless, man. I mean, there was a good chance he could have got jumped and easily bursted right off the bat. So
looks like they're just going to give this up, though.
They are.
Woody Fly is just farming Ancients. They look like they changed their mind, and apparently they don't value the token that highly. And I mean, in terms of who's going to take the token, Wild Soul's not really that great of a candidate. I mean, if you die, your bear dies.
Yeah.
And that's kind of your hero, basically. So, looks like Monkey King maybe, but here we go. Lodestone's blinking in, breaking.
Oh, this is the worst case scenario. Not only did they get the token, Pebbles jumps back in. He says, we gotta fight this. Lodestone will fall. Pyromancer coming to destroy Pebbles, but the jab is ultimate. It doesn't catch Moon Queen, though. Moon Queen is fine with that move, but now he's still bouncing around. Glacia's gonna fall right there. The Glaive auto attack's coming out. Tab is gonna go down. Down goes Monkey King. He's gonna come up with the token of life, but this is gonna be a big fight in the end for our Legion team. Nice one, Jim Slam right there. Moonbeam will connect, though. Pebbles will chase in. Stalagmite's gonna come out. The auto attack's gonna follow. Another Moonbeam, not even necessary. A quad kill for Moon Queen. And look at that. Deadwood takes out Wild Soul at the end. A genocide at the Congo pit. Unbelievable. And that was all started by the Hellborn team with a kill on Andromeda after they got the token of life. Wow.
I mean, you can't really argue with the Hellborn for going in there. It made perfect sense to me. Andromeda was dead. He is pretty much the cancel for the Tempest ultimate. I mean, that's kind of his job. With him dead, Insania got a pretty good ult off. Unfortunately, a lot of it was just Pebbles being shrunken headed, and then Moon Queen, like you said, holy crap, that was just a freaking buffet for her. Just blow the Moon Finale. You don't have to even really auto attack your Moon Finale. It's just killing all of them. There were no creeps around, nothing really, and just absolutely annihilated them. God, what a fight for the Legion team. Pebbles even getting a quad kill, just a shrunken head. And he did work that fight, killing Lodestone. But here we go, Ricky.
Lodestone coming back in. Shadow Storm and Mega. Let's go. Oh, the Andromeda swap at the last second. It saves Pebbles. Going for the turn kill. They will kill Andromeda, but that's what Andromeda does. Sacrificial Lamb not only dies, but saves Pebbles. Also gets the help to get the counter kill onto Lodestone. Pebbles still on the run. He has a portal key coming up in 2 mana, 1 mana. He's just going to go for the Homecoming Stone, actually. That's probably the better choice. He will be fine in the end. Wow. I mean, yeah, being on the uphill there by Moon Queen. And I also kind of wonder if they thought they may have had her because she split up with the Geometer's Bane. They caught the 2 illusions in it. But obviously the real one was on the uphill with that Moon Finale activated. And like you said, that was just free reign for her to do the damage that she did on top of the Glaives, just bouncing around. So, yeah, again, IG, you can't necessarily blame them for going in right there. It just seemed like it was prime time and going to be a mistake by Nice Prize Pool being there in the first place. But hey, it worked out. Moon Queen not getting caught at it, and we saw the end result. And Moon Queen, not only did she finish a Genjiro, she went straight into Genjiro here. She also has another 3,400 gold saved up on top of that. So
please get shrunken head.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, it seems like you're continuing to live life on the edge.
That fight that just happened is like 1 in a million.
Yeah, exactly.
So, need shrunken.
We'll see if
they're actually a lot of heroes posturing in this top lane, and IG looks like they want to take a fight. And Pyromancer baiting. Here we go, Ricky.
He is, but there you go with the tablet. He's going to avoid Lodestone. He does take the Shadow Storm, but he turns around and Lodestone. Oh, Lodestone gets bursted. A level 16 Pyromancer says, gotcha, bitch. Turns around in his face as he's exposed. Gets the kill. What is going on? Chucks and all over the place. Monkey King flying around. Pebbles chucking the wrong hero. And that'll be the end of that, it looks like. Now you see the bottom lane. Wild Soul says, I got to make something happen, man. He has a Soul's Bulwark. He's going to push the bottom tower. But the first tower up here, yes, that's right, the first tower that is still up here is now going to be pushed in by the Legion side. So Wild Soul just trying to make the best of the situation. We're probably going to see our Legion team make a pretty solid push up top at the same time. 4 more thousand gold saved up on Moon Queen, so he has enough for the Shrunken. Obviously, buyback is important too.
He's going to get a crit. He's going to get a
Rift
crit.
Shards, yeah. That's honestly what I was thinking.
That's the go-to, really, here.
Yeah.
I mean,
just pass up the Shrunken.
You have, like, your Glaives that bounce to everything. If they all crit, everyone's dead.
It's pretty crazy. Oh, this is going to be a big catch. Look at this play here by Noodle. Catches Monkey King. Deadwood's able to follow up.
Freaking Incutal.
Yeah.
Holy crap, he's owning.
And again, he had a horrible start. He was 0-4-1 to start.
He's crushing. He's got 320 GPM, 7-6, level 17.
Yeah.
And he's about to finish a Storm Spirit here, which is definitely can be pretty powerful. I kind of like his just more mobility and support build here. Makes a lot of sense to me. So Moon Queen still got that 4,400 gold. And I would not be surprised to see something we don't expect. There's just a simple breach.
Huh.
Okay, so at least we're a little more defensive here.
Yeah.
It's not too crazy, so that's all right. He really just
Seems like he's
he's like
handicapping
Jeppins
himself.
and Jeppins will not buy Shrunken Head and Team. He hates anyone.
Too
who does.
try hard, man.
Too try hard.
Trying to have fun here, not try hard. But similar rage, like you said, it's kind of that medium of like, okay, at least he's beefing up. He does have that ability now to just lifesteal like crazy on activation, and at least he has that. But the lockdown potential is still there, and you know, I just feel it's going to be coming though. He's going to get caught at his ultimate, bursted down, and sit there and say like, what if? What if?
Hell, if he just gets hit by like Lodestone ult and Glacius freeze and the bear's hitting him, I don't know. I mean, he's got 2,300 health now. I mean, I'm definitely glad he got something to help him live. I mean, I'm a pretty passive player myself. I would have gotten like Shrunken Head like 40 minutes ago before the game even started, but I don't know.
Storm Spirit helps too. Pyromancer, as you mentioned, he just finished that, so that definitely helps. They have an Andromeda with the swap now, granted. Well, I mean, with the Nullstone now, I guess you're really not banking on Andromeda swapping. So he didn't go Shrunken Head, so you still have, everyone can basically stop a Tempest Ultimate. So if you're Andromeda, I think your priority is still more of a case of, especially in this case, probably saving Moon Queen, if anything. Or saving teammates rather than stopping a Tempest Ultimate, but...
Yeah, it is a little dicier when you've got more than one person kind of involved in stopping that. I mean, it's just the nature of team fights. Trying to get two people to coordinate that, it's just not the easiest thing in the world. I mean, of course, they certainly could just have someone stay out as well and try to cancel. I mean, like you said, almost anyone can do it. They've all got tablets and Storm Spirits themselves. Deadwood can throw the log. I mean, there's quite a few options, but of course, being able to just have two people do it is a lot harder. I see Wild's actually going to try and gank Andromeda, but with just the comment stun, he is deterred, but oh no.
Uh-oh.
Deadwood's coming.
Uh-oh. Can you find him? Can you find him?
Nope. No.
Nice.
Almost actually used the bear almost
Exactly.
like distract him, but...
Well, not only that, with the mock, I mean, it prevented the portal key. I'm pretty sure
No.
what you wanted to do, so... Well played right there, getting away. But, yeah, this game is just completely swayed in favor of Nice Price Pool here. I mean, even there was a point again earlier on. Yeah, IG was up somewhere 9,000 gold, I think it was, 6,000, 7,000 experience. They were dominating, they were rolling, but a couple of fights won. Moon Queen getting some early on kills, and before you know it, the early not even early, but the Portakey finally picked him on Pebbles, and then after that on Deadwood, and it started to get going. And here we are now. 35, really 36 minutes into this game. You have a Demonic now on Pebbles on top of the Shrunken Portal Key. Obviously, you have Moon Queen and her ability. She has buyback money at this point. Conqueror not up just yet.
Crit!
So it seems soon.
He got it!
He got it. Of course he did.
God,
Level 1
I was
reserves.
completely trolling too. Jesus.
Damage Ampio. Zibbe pushing the top lane in the meantime again, doing what he really just should be doing. He is going to finish his Demonic most likely as he ports back. Actually, he might just be shy of the gold, but Demonic is going to become... Okay, there you go. He does have enough, so... Demonic breastplate for him at least. Good news there. How's Monkey King been coming along? He went Sackstone early. He has a Shrunken really, and that's it. So he doesn't even have his damage amp item yet on Fuzi. He's kind of had not the best of game in that sense of being able to pick it up. So yeah, I mean the damage output overall right here, it's definitely not the greatest, at least what it could be, of course. But at the same time, they still have plenty of damage themselves. And if they do catch Moon Queen, it goes back to that, especially with no Shrunken.
I think a lot of our pressure is on Insania to land that
Yeah.
huge Tempest Ult, or just maybe get Moon Queen at least. It's going to be pretty important. Actually, he's going to use the Yama's Bane here and sit in this Meteor breaking, and this could be the cue for them to jump. He's taking a lot of damage. Here we go.
This is very risky right here. Now, Pebble says, Glacius, you are dead, but look at Low's done. The Shadow Strike right on top. The head smash not going to be enough to swap at the last second. The similar rage is going to be used, but Monkey King coming in. They will kill Moon Queen. There's the Shrunken, or the Tempest Ultimate in the background. Pyromancer locked down. Deadwood able to survive from it, but now Pebbles and Deadwood on the run. It's... we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming for Moon Queen. Hat trick coming out from Monkey King. The ballsy and very ballsy play from Woody Fly right there did not pay off. And
I mean,
all of a sudden backfired.
maybe their process or thought process is that they have Andromeda, who's, I guess, like you said, perhaps not on Tempest duty anymore. can just swap him out. I mean, we saw him get swapped out and recover pretty good health with that Symbol of Rage, but Monkey King, I'm not sure if they're aware, but he actually had a double damage rune that whole fight. So, I mean, even without any items, he was hitting for pretty freaking hard, as Monkey King is wont to do. Deadwood's going to be roaming down here. He's not going to be able to accomplish a whole lot without his ultimate, and I don't know if he got spotted out. Yeah, Monkey's going to back, actually, so I think he was going for Monkey, but Monkey will back. But, I mean, what else can you really say about that fight besides no Shrunken Head, full Lodestone ultimate, and then obviously the Meteor and the Iglesias initiation did work there. Deadwood's kind of just running away, but yeah, not going to be any kills there, but crit over Shrunken?
Even Wingbow, like, you could argue even a Wingbow would actually be pretty solid here against the Hellborn team, but yeah, I mean, the Gajiro was one thing, but yeah, then going into Rift Shards now, yeah, of course he's gonna finish it off, man. He has to, right? It has to get level 4.
Who the hell leaves Rift Shards at level 1? No one.
So, he's going to build that up, and that's more gold that's going to be invested into that, most likely. He doesn't have a buyback at this point. Obviously, Kongor's up now. He's kind of just chilling there this time. He's done with the dance party. The Legion team is heading over there, and they're going to go right for it. Now, they are definitely spotted here going for it. Hellborn team very aware, but you see the damage output, man. I mean, Moon Queen is doing a lot of damage, and Kongor is dropping very fast as a result. It almost seems like the minus armor is actually helping here, but no, it's not.
Shrunken Head is picked up by Insani here, but he does not have his ultimate. Yeah, I like the BGT taking advantage of this.
Jeez, that's going to be so quick, Kongor. They're going to jump in on the Pebbles in the meantime. Low second with the Shadow Storm. Swap for a minute, drop it. That's not going to matter, though. He won't be taken out. Monkey King in the background. Glacial downpour. Moon Queen, though, has a Symbol of Rage and the Token of Life. Not even using it yet. She's coming out with the Genjiro right here, putting in the auto attacks, and she's in a pretty good spot. Now, she's going to chase right here. She's by herself currently. Chasing Wild Soul. There's the Entangle proc coming out. You knew it was coming. Moonbeam hits on a Wild Soul. The chase continues. Dragonfire going to miss, actually. Deadwood coming in, though. Great Rotten Grass catches them both. Moon Queen still in pursuit. Moonbeam hits, and Wild Soul is going to fall in. He does have buyback. Will he use it immediately? Tempest Ultimate's coming up in 14 seconds.
He's got no bear.
Going straight for the base here, though. He pretty much has to.
I mean, it's like a free Rax.
Yeah.
No Tempest Ultimate. Definitely the name of the game, but here we go, Break. He's not over yet.
Why is Wild Soul not buying back here? You have to. I mean, this is it right here.
He doesn't have a bear. I mean, if he buys back,
that's true.
No
okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, with no bear.
Tempest Ultimate actually was used, but instantly canceled. And
yeah.
I mean,
that should be it.
This looks like it.
Very greedy build on Moon Queen. It works out in the end, though. Obviously, it can, but what was it greedy? Tempest coming back in with the buyback. Just stalling as long as possible. There's another Homecoming Stone. Actually, Tempest may end up falling right here. He's going to fall once. Will he fall twice? Monkey King, go back. Yeah, don't chase right there. He is going to be dusted, but Moon Queen, he's pretty fast with that Genjiro. There's the stuns coming out. Pyromancer able to assist right there. Monkey King being turned. Here comes the auto attacks now. Monkey King going to activate that Shrunken Head, but the auto attacks from Moon Queen, you got to be worried about that. Especially still with the Symbol of Rage up. Swap on a Monkey King right there. Shrunken Head's going to fall. The Kama stun comes out. The Moonbeam on top. The auto attack's going to follow. And Monkey King, it looks like, oh, he barely lives, actually. Moon Queen turning around at the last second. Oh, nice portal key from Tempest right there. And when it's all said and done, he ultimately will live, but obviously the damage under the base. And also Monkey King choosing to chase right there Pyromancer instead of sitting on Moon Queen as soon as she resurrected. That was an odd decision as well. But in the end, you know, big picture. Obviously, nice prize pulls on their way to Game 2 victory here, but oof.
Certainly are. So they got Mage Bane last game, and in response, they're Moon Queen in this game.
Yep. That's going to be the third game now.
Man, this game seemed almost certainly over. I really thought the Hellborn team was highly favored, at least as the game was progressing, but just some crazy team fights for sure have just gone in the Legion's favor. And, you know, Moon Queen in 42 minutes with 700 GPM is usually a game winner.
Yeah, that's usually leads to good success. He's still sitting on the level 2 Rift Shards, actually. He has 5,200 gold now saved up. Again, there's always the buybacks coming into play, but if he would have figured out this rate, he would have at least just finished the Rift Shards. But no, he's going to sit on the level 2. We'll see where he goes for next. 1,800 more gold on Pebbles. Again, both the middle and bottom. Not only the racks, but the base is pretty much cleared out to an extent. We do have the meatball is still up, so as long as that's still up, there's a chance. Andromeda's going to be caught here. Health Flower on Monkey King, by the way. He's had that now for a little bit, but obviously using that right there to help him kill Andromeda in the process, so...
I mean, I think, yeah, Hellflower, well, I mean, he doesn't have a Shrunken, so, I mean, at least it'll stop him from using the Geometer's Bane or the Simple Crate even. Could be pretty big, so yeah. We do see Hellflower a lot on Monkey just because it's the core item, but certainly if they want to burst this Moon Queen down without the Shrunken, I mean, they can.
Guess what he just got?
I didn't see. Oh! No, he's sending it back.
He's like, no, I don't want this anymore. He's gonna sell. That would be hilarious.
Put it on the ground and kill it.
Just as like a slap in the face to us for
I think he wants more
stressing
Rift
this whole
Shards.
game. He just like drops on the ground and kills it like you said. Oh, there you go, the Rift Shards.
Yeah.
One of those as well.
There you go. So I don't think they can stop him now. I mean, they could have gone when the Tempest Ult was down, but it's back up now, so don't count the Hellborn team out of it just yet. And remember, if they get a big team fight and there are no buybacks, Wild Soul is going to absolutely demolish their base with that. He's actually got the Basher now, or the Brutalizer, excuse me. So
yeah.
I mean, this next team fight might be a little closer than you might expect the way this game's been going. A lot's going to just depend on Moon Queen, and Moon Queen is just charging in right now.
Oh, he's going to go in. They're going to kill Boo Boo. He will have a resurrection, but jeez. Now, they're kind of spread out on the Legion team here, so this is a pretty ballsy play, honestly. They are coming on over, though. Moon Queen's still chasing. They don't have any vision. That's unfortunate by the Hellborn side. Now, there's a Zintangle coming out. Geometer's Bane going to be used up. Pebbles in the background. There's a Tempest Ult, but it's not going to be canceled. The lockdown happening. Swap by Andromeda on a Moon Queen right there. She comes back up with the auto attacks. Wild Soul's going to fall and let the Glaives rain hell on the Hellborn team. Moon Finale being activated right there. The Hellborn team just completely scattering all over the place. Lowstone trying to run away. He will be successful with that, actually. At least it looks like. Nope, Portal Key from Pebbles, Chucks and Pyromancer. And Lowstone is going to be killed in the end. So Wild Soul, he doesn't have a buyback. Deadwood's chasing Glacius. He gets frozen. Still gets it off, though. Tempest trying to save Cinder right here. Nice Portal Key, and actually will save him in the end. As now Tempest running away. But again, the damage already done. Monkey King's going to try to counter push here with a distraction. He actually has another double damage. And he's going to push that tower. But back up here, they do pick off Glacius. And actually, Tempest also going to fall. And we're going to see Mega Creeps, and there's the vote to concede. So, GG well played. Game 2 going to nice prize pool. And that means we have a game number 3 coming up, Riser. Nice prize pool versus IG.
Well, could probably cast one more.
So, yeah, with that said, actually, I know you got your match coming up. If anything, you could leave during if you really have to. Not that big of a deal, so. But obviously, so this series is going to be wrapping up here, so congratulations. Why did I just say that? The game going to be wrapping up here. The series is still going. We got a game number 3 coming up, and that's always a good thing. And yeah, you know, for IG, you probably think they're kind of they're a little upset with themselves in the end. I mean, they had the big lead. I'm trying to recall, like, earlier on in that game if there's an obvious, like, oh, why did they do that moment? I don't think there was, though. It's just more so the Moon Queen effect. She was able to develop and ultimately, you know, take over the game. So maybe you could argue IG should have pushed the effort a little bit harder earlier on instead of going more passive as the game progressed. But I don't know. Just